Good afternoon, everyone. We just wait a bit longer to make sure everyone joins the session smoothly. If you don't mind. Right, well, I guess we should just get started. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joey Lee, and I am Manager of Profile and Relationships here at The Circle. It is my pleasure to welcome you today. I would like to begin by firstly acknowledging the original custodians of Australia and pay our respects to the elders past, present, and future, for they hold the memories, traditions, cultures, and hopes for Indigenous Australia. At The Circle, we believe in sharing of thought leadership and ideas. So we always strive to inspire, connect, and learn from one another. So it is with my absolute greatest pleasure, we welcome today's guest, Matt Levy, author, Australian Paralympic swimmer, and gold medalist. Born premature, Matt was thrown into the world and given two choices, to sink or to swim. Beating all odds, he chose to swim and emerged as a Paralympic gold medalist, public speaker, and a business manager, all due to the mindset shift that he had experienced fighting for life at the bottom. He has competed at 4 consecutive Paralympic Games, winning 2 gold, 1 silver, and 4 bronze medals. He has swam at 5 world championships, countless national and other professional meets, won 20 international medals, and held 4 world records, and has been awarded the Order of Australian Medal. He is also an ambassador for Australia Day, Westpac International Disability Day, Life's Little Treasures, Athlete Leaders Swimming Australia, Telstra Paralympic Education Program, and Vision Australia Speaking Program. Is there nothing he does not do? So we are delighted to hear about such an inspiring figure as he speaks about his new book, Keeping Your Head Above Water, Inspirational Insights from a Champion. A reminder today that this discussion is on the record, and we welcome our attending media guests. A recording will be shared to the Trans-Tasman Business Circle YouTube channel following the event. I will now pass over to our moderator, founder, and managing director, Johnny Wise, to start our journey.
Joey, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction and a joyous introduction. It's such a pleasure for me to moderate, and on behalf of our CEO, Tanya Oziel, and myself, we welcome you. The key word of Joey is inspiration. And Tanya and I have worked together for almost 30 years at The Circle and beyond. And there are very few people who have moved us, excited us, and really inspired us. Very, very few that meet Matt Levy. And we've been part of Matt's journey from a distance, watching and admiring his incredible drive and commitment and achievement against all odds, as Joey alluded to. And also he was been a speaker at one of our briefings before, so much so that we said, we have to have Matt back. So we hope that you really do, you'll find the inspiration, you'll feel the inspiration from Matt as he will go through his story. It's an incredible story. And we're so delighted that so many people are on listening. And as Joey said, we're sharing this on YouTube later. So Matt, welcome. Welcome back from Tokyo.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's great to be part of the show. And yeah, Tokyo was definitely a wild ride, and you know, it's great to be back on home soil.
Fantastic. Well, look, let's start at the beginning. Let's start with your physical life journey, and before we come on to your spiritual life journey, for want of another word. So share with us, you know, you were born at tough odds, very tough odds, and you overcame those odds. If you could share with us the beginning of your life, because this is an incredible, amazing story of survival. And
yeah, sure. I guess for me, I was born quite early, as was mentioned, and I was born at 25 weeks, so around 4 months or so early. I was born with a vision impairment and cerebral palsy due to a bleed on the brain in the first 3-4 days of life. And I guess, yeah, it was definitely not an easy start. And I had around 50 odd operations up until the age of 15, 16, and still have operations to date. But yeah, most parts of my body had something done to it, I think. But I guess I haven't let that stop me doing what I've been able to do. And because I guess I kind of really see life with the glass half full. And it's really, for me, I guess it's not so much obstacles I've had to overcome. It's really, I guess, the opportunity to try and be the best version of myself, because I think we're all faced with different challenges in our lives. And I guess we've all kind of seen that a little bit with COVID. And it's really kind of what you make out of life that really kind of it tells it apart. And yeah, for me, I guess I've learned a lot from everything I do. And I guess that's kind of what keeps me going and what drives me to success. It's trying to be a best version of myself I can be. And yeah, I don't try and worry too much about the competition or the people in the next lane or any of that kind of stuff. So it's just really about trying to be the best I can be and really learn from all the experiences that I can throughout that journey.
Very motivational, very moving. Let's go back a little bit to your childhood. And, you know, what was the tipping point when you were a young kid, when you're able to go to school, play? You know, how was it growing up? And what kind of point in your life, at what age did you kind of realize this is the opportunity, this is not the impediment?
Yeah, I guess very early on, my parents got me involved in swimming, and it was a form of physical therapy, and really to kind of get my arms and legs moving with having a neurological condition. Walking on land and doing all the normal stuff normal kids do is really difficult. So I was in the water quite early on, and that's, I guess, kind of where it started. And the early intervention definitely helped with the progression of me physically and also mentally, and kind of helped me gain those values and beliefs that I hold today. And I guess growing up in school, yeah, it wasn't easy. I guess I wasn't the smartest kid, and it was really about, I guess, trying to catch up every year that I kind of was going through school. And I remember when I started at my St Andrew's Cathedral School in 1995, about 6 months before I started, my dad would take me on the bus on a Sunday morning and show me the route to get to school. And I guess being vision impaired, it wasn't easy taking public transport and all that kind of stuff. So he spent a good 6 months every Sunday going from our home just outside the city to Wynyard and doing the walk to Town Hall where St Andrew's Cathedral School was. And I guess that kind of stuck in my mind in terms of what I had to go through and kind of what that journey, how that journey started. And yeah, there's, I guess, a lot of stories in my mind I kind of think of, and swimming, I guess, has always been a part of it in some way, shape or form. I guess I haven't always been in the competitive side of things. I kind of didn't start that till probably 1999, 2000, when I watched the Sydney Paralympic Games for the first time. And that's kind of where I kind of drew the inspiration and drew the understanding that I can do more than just swimming laps and swimming it for fitness. And that's, I guess, where I kind of understood that I'm not that slow, and I'm not that how there's people with far worse disabilities than myself. And that's kind of where I kind of decided that, yes, I can do this and I can potentially make a Paralympic Games. Lo and behold, I never thought I'd end up going to 5, but yeah, it's certainly been a really great journey, and it's really been enjoyable so far. And yeah, I've learned so much about myself and so much about the world and a lot of different experiences along the way, which has been great.
Wonderful. We'll come back to that Paralympics motivational moment and shortly. We have a chat session. Anyone who would like to ask questions or share some comments, we invite you to do so by popping a question or observations in the chat session, and we'll try and get through those as possible. So there you are, sitting at home watching the Paralympics on the couch. You know, was there one moment that truly inspired you, or it kind of just dawned on you that this is your destiny?
I guess like every kid and every adult, obviously with Sydney hosting the Olympics and Paralympics, we were all glued to the TV, and part of that experience, my school was involved heavily in the Paralympic Games opening ceremony. So that's, I guess, a moment that sticks in my mind. I guess I didn't think back then that, I wanted to go to a Paralympic Games because I have a disability, but I think that kind of understanding of what you go through to get an event up and running, for example, and kind of what we had to do every week for 6-7 months leading up to the opening ceremony. We had to practice movements, practice running into the stadium, all those kind of different things, because we were part of the painting choreography from memory in the Sydney Olympic Games. I guess that kind of moment sticks in my mind that really got me to understand it takes a lot to get to that goal. I guess I didn't realize what that really meant till I kind of watched some swimming races and athletics and that kind of stuff during the games. And then I kind of pieced it all together and kind of worked out, it's actually not as, it's difficult, and but if it's a passion, it's something that I really want to do, then it can definitely be possible. And that's, I guess, where it kind of started, and still kind of have that in my memory today.
Well, there was the beginning, and then Joey's introduction to you, she shared your incredible achievements, including many medals, gold, bronze, etc. So share with us, what does a medal feel like? What does it look like? Maybe you have one or two just hanging around in the room as we speak. We'd love to see, love to feel the experience, the size.
Yeah, so it's this is the gold medal from the 4x100 freestyle relay. I guess it's the size of about a human palm. Weight, I'm not sure. I think maybe about 1 kilo and a bit. It's just a fantastic experience. This is the bronze from the 100 breaststroke. I guess the experience is just amazing. I think you get lost as an athlete with, I guess, the achievements and all that kind of stuff. But I think the feeling of representing a country, the feeling of standing on the blocks, knowing that, I guess, all the hard work has been worth it, no matter what the result, I think is the best feeling ever. It's not so much, I guess, the reward at the end of the day that could be potentially a medal, but I think the satisfaction that you have achieved, I guess, your lifelong dream, and you've worked so hard to get to somewhere, is something that I kind of always remember when I'm competing, because at the end of the day, we can't control what other people are doing. We can only control, I guess, what we do, from whether it's an athletic perspective or not. We can only control, I guess, our emotions, our feelings, and our actions of what we do as individuals. So for me, I guess it's really about focusing on what I can do and what I can do to the best of my ability. And nothing beats competing with your teammates. And I'm really proud to be part of a lot of great relays in my time. And they're always the moments that I feel really proud to swim and to represent my country, because you're not just representing yourself, you're not just representing your country, but you're representing 3 other people that are counting on you to do your best. And I'm just so privileged to be a part of the relays, and it just makes it's really fantastic moment, and it really feels great to, I guess, be part of that.
Wonderful. And for the first time you had the gold medal around your neck, do you remember that moment? What did you feel? What was your emotion? And did you feel the same way in Tokyo?
Yeah, I think, yes, you have a bit of, I guess, a tear in your eye. You kind of think back to all those hard sessions that you had and you remember that why it's worth it. It's a difficult experience because it's so quick after you race that you kind of don't really sink in. It doesn't sink in that often, but yeah, it's just a really proud moment to stand up and watch your national anthem being played and watch the flag being raised. And yeah, it's just really fantastic experience. And for me, I guess I can't think of any other feeling in my life that I would be feeling that moment. I guess that the closest I would probably get to that was probably taking those first steps after a brain operation. I think they're probably the closest that I get to those euphoria moments. And yeah, it's just really proud, I guess, is probably one word. And yeah, you kind of think back to all the people that have got you there, all the effort that they put in as well. Because at the end of the day, like a lot of us see the top end of the spectrum. We see people winning medals and breaking records and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's thanks to the people that support you and that have supported me along that journey that really typify, I guess, what the achievement is. And yeah, I guess when I'm standing on the blocks, it's not just for myself, it's for them as well. And same thing on the podium. Yeah, I try and think back to all those times and really kind of remember them as well, because it's as much as it's my experience, but it's also their experience as well. And yeah, you want to be able to put in a good effort.
Thank you so much. It's exactly why we invited you back here to the circle, because these are life moments, these are precious moments, these are sharing moments, but they're also moments of placing others' lives in context. And you know what you've overcome and continue to overcome is incredible. So now we've got a great question from Mike Erlin, one of our terrific supporters. I'll read it to you. Firstly, congratulations. We're equally inspired. Adapting and creatively coming up with solutions are recognized as critical capabilities when we move into new environments. Are there specific aha examples that you now recall as critical to your progression?
Yeah, I think I remember back in 2000, I did one of my first swimming carnivals at Olympic Park. I barely made 50 meters, and I remember thinking back that how am I ever going to like do a training session if I can't really make 50 meters? And I remember in this moment going off and playing with my friends and playing in the play equipment and not really worrying too much about the time. But I didn't realize there was a going home time, I guess, and a time to get back on the bus to go back to school. And school was about 70 Ks away at the time, and home was about roughly the same. And I guess in this moment, I could have, I guess, crawled up into a ball and cried and had a tantrum, but I kind of saw that as a growth moment and an opportunity to, I guess, learn and grow and be better than I think I am. I guess I was 12, 13 at the time, obviously having a disability as well. It wasn't easy. Back then we had no social media, no Instagram. I didn't have a mobile phone. So it was about 20 cents in my pocket, enough to call my parents and let them know what I was doing. But I guess in that kind of moment, it really taught me the value of goals and the value of setting goals, and the value and belief of never giving up. Because I had to get home somehow, some way, and I didn't know which way to go, what train to catch, what bus to catch. I got back home eventually about 3-4 hours later, after asking a lot of strangers and asking a lot of people and blank looks and stuff like that. So I guess I kind of always think back on that story because it really taught me the value of goals and the value of never giving up and believing in yourself no matter what. Because there's a lot of anecdotes and stories I guess I could relay from a sporting background, but the story I guess I just kind of relayed then is kind of touches a lot of people, because I guess you can all relate to being a kid lost in a shopping mall or something of that effect. So for me, I guess I kind of learned a lot that day. I'm sure my parents won't, well, recollect they weren't happy with the school, but yeah, I definitely learned a lot from that day that kind of translated into my sporting career and also my life as well.
Incredible, incredible. Now, the life of a sports person is a fragile life in terms of livelihood, in terms of committing, one's whole day and weeks and months and years to a pursuit of excellence. And so, can you share with us your work career? Have you been able to work? Have you been able to find the balance? We know, Westpac, terrific support for you. If you share with us how you're balancing work, what do you do at work, and how do you marry both lives?
Yeah, sure. Yes, I've been at Westpac nearly 12 years now, and I guess it's great. They're great supporters of what I do, and I'm really thankful, I guess, to be able to learn the skills, put my, I guess, sporting brain into different skills. And I'm currently in a change analyst role at the moment, working on a couple of projects in the wider bank. And for me, I guess, how I marry up my work and swimming, I think for me, I get away from, I swim to take a break from work, and I work to take a break from swimming. And I think for me, I guess, to have those two side by side is great, because it allows me to have that mental break from both. And I think what motivates me and what gives me, I guess, that work-life balance is having, I guess, that passion and belief that I can still continue to improve and still enjoy what I do. And that kind of helps me with that work-life balance and putting things into perspective, because it's very hard sometimes when you're not feeling like you want to swim that morning or that afternoon, and same with work. Sometimes you don't want to do to get up and go to that meeting or whatever it is, but it's really about finding the positives in the negative. And for me, I guess I try and look at anything that I can kind of improve on in that activity or in that day. And it's really about kind of trying to find that 1%ers to make the most out of that opportunity, because we only get a short amount of time each day to improve and to be better than we were yesterday. And for me, I guess it's trying to make the most out of that. And yeah, we're not going to feel the best every day, but it's just trying to make the most of the opportunities that we have.
So fighting against both challenges, the pandemic. So share with us, how have you gone through balancing these, twin life, journeys of yours, work and of course swimming, the uncertainty of Tokyo Paralympics, the training. How's Matt's year been in the last year and a half?
Yeah, so obviously Tokyo was postponed in 2000. And that was, I guess, a lot to understand and comprehend for a lot of us athletes, because you had to kind of work out whether you wanted to continue on and go for another 12 months and all that kind of stuff. But once you kind of got that in your head that you wanted to keep going, it made, I guess, that conversation and that continuing on a lot easier. Obviously, because we had a lot of restrictions in Australia, it was I had to relocate from Sydney to Canberra to train. So I've been here for about 12 months. And leading up to Tokyo, we had to, the swimming team had to relocate to Queensland because of all the border restrictions. So we were there for about 3 months, 12 weeks, getting ready for the games and getting ready for Tokyo. And we were in Brisbane for half of that, and then Cairns for the other half. Then on to Tokyo from there. And it was a very long stint. And I guess working from home was great in terms of being able to balance the work and the swimming life and that kind of thing. But yeah, being on the road wasn't easy. It was just really about getting that in your head early and kind of understanding that's what we're doing, and really kind of continuing to make the best out of it as you possibly can, because it wasn't the ideal scenario. But yeah, we made it work, and we, as a swimming team and as an Australian team, we did really well in terms of results and PBs and all that kind of stuff. So I think the long preparation potentially helped.
Incredible. Well, Matt, we're coming to the close. Firstly, I've got to share with you, I'm watching the numbers, and everybody stayed on, apart from one person. And that is pretty rare in our series. And normally we get a bit of a drop off, but people have been fascinated and totally motivated and uplifted, as Tanya and I were for so many years, and continue to be, about your incredible story. And for those who are listening and those who will watch on YouTube and our post-event broadcast, you know, you're an amazing inspirational speaker available to come and talk to others. And for organizations and companies, motivate your team, lift your team, particularly giving them a perspective of grabbing the opportunity, not being a victim, but accepting a reality and building an advantage and a positive outlook, an uplifting outlook on life. And Matt, you've always inspired us. You know, it's such a pleasure. We're so thrilled to ask you to come back, especially after your incredible achievement recently in Tokyo. And, you know, we wish you continued inspiration for the community around you and for those of us who are following your journey and the many, many followers you have on your LinkedIn and Facebook page. And just amazing. Thank you for sparing the time with us. And thank you everybody for listening. Matt, continue the optimism, continue the spark. You lift all of us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yep, any final word, Matt? Take us on the next journey.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for having me today. It's really great to, I guess, share my journey and share, I guess, my experience. And for me, it's we enter this world with nothing and we leave with nothing but the experiences and the lessons we learn throughout our lives. And it's really about learning from what you can with what you can, and yeah, trying to learn from each experience that we have in life to be better than we were yesterday.
Incredible, Matt. All credit and all strength to you. Thank you everybody for joining, and have a great day. Bye.